So yeah, you ready for some questions, good sir?
Let's go for it.
All right.
Answer them the best of my ability.
And that
Mhm.
that's gotten me excited because right off the bat, I want to talk about your cover of The Kill. And
Okay.
yeah, amazing cover by the
Mhm.
way.
I
Lo-
appreciate that difficult cover.
yeah. I kind of wanted to ask you what was your vocal process and how did you learn to get that good with clears and like distortion and like you're able to switch back and forth so fluently. It's so amazing. Like how do you do that?
Uh, to be honest, it was a lot of practice, and even to this day, I will say it's like I'm not that. I personally don't think I'm that good at it. My engineer, he helps me out a lot when it comes to um, the takes. He'll tell me because believe it or not, I'm tone deaf.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, I you'll tell me where I'm supposed to be, and I'm like, oh, right here, and they're like, no, no, higher, 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 there you go. That's a lot of my studio takes. Someone was like, no, you got to go higher. Oh, no, 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 you got to go lower. So, my engineer Randy Pascarella, he helps me out a lot when I'm doing my takes and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then if I were to do it live, I literally have the pitch in my ear, so I know where I'm supposed to be at.
That you're one of the first vocalists I've interviewed that does something like that. That's really unique. I like that. That's really
Yeah.
cool. That's actually kind of sick.
Yeah, it's listen, I'm trying to get as close to the album take or the recording as possible. So I'm like, whatever helps me get the job done. If I got to listen to myself in my ears so I can get there, then that's what I'll do.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, I when I first heard it, I was very much blown away because of just vocally talent. Like, even though that you don't think you sound good, I think like it's pretty much just like the original at that point. Like, it sounds pretty close. Like
I
you're
appreciate
pretty
that.
much there, you know, and but what I liked about your cover more is
Mhm.
your growls are crazy. Like, whoa. Like, out of all the vocalists I've met, sorry Mark if you're watching this. I work for him. um I just I'm being genuine and I say this. I've heard a lot of metal vocalists in my time, and it's like you have such a unique growl and like such a how do I put it? You have such a unique vocal range where it's like you can go from this crazy distortion low to like really beautiful clears, like really good pitches, and it's like
I appreciate that, man.
yeah, it's amazing. Like you generally have a really good talent, even though that you're tone deaf. Like you have a really good talent, my guy.
I appreciate that, man. Like I said, it's just it's a lot of work, a lot of practice. If you were to ask me to try to teach somebody,
No.
I'd be like, yeah, man, that's 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 not gonna happen. I just do it, and I can't do it very long. Like the screaming, I don't scream properly.
Oh, okay.
So, like how Christian, he can scream for days on end. Um, Me, I can't do that. I can do maybe if we were on tour, I could do it for the tour. I could do it daily, but I couldn't do it for hours. I can do the backup screams or specific parts, but after a while, my throat is just, you're done.
I I kind of would you be able to answer some because I did have questions for the other vocalist. I know that he wasn't able to hop on, but would you be able to
Mhm.
answer for him as well or
I might be able to. I'll do my best.
okay. Because I did have at least one question about the music
Mhm.
video with the girl with the orange hair. I'm terrible with
Oh,
names.
Bobby.
Yes, Bobby. Yes,
Mhm.
and I kind of wanted to ask him about
Mhm.
the be like what was the meaning behind that music video and like what was the meaning behind it and like what was kind of like the message that you were trying to come across when people were seeing the music video and such?
So, believe it or not, we didn't see the music video until it was done.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah. We did not see it until it was the finished product and everything like that. Um, no, I'm lying. We did see one clip and we were just like, okay, cool. And then when the editing was done, we saw the full product because we didn't see all the B-rolling that was filmed.
Yeah,
So, like I wrote the lyrics to that song.
yeah.
And the song itself, which he did his best to put together, is the world um, is temporary. Like a lot of the lyrics are scripture based.
Hmm.
So, and that you know, everything that you do for Christ, there is going to be some kind of temptation, which is the woman in the black clothes. She represents temptation, sin,
Ah,
evil,
okay, okay.
that's why the guy is always carrying the cross with him. He's always getting beat down and things of that nature.
Oh, that's
But
okay. That's so
yeah,
cool. Okay, I like that.
yeah, but it's only again, it's only temporary. That's why she flees at the end when he starts praying. But you'll notice like you'll still see at the very, very end, you still kind of see her hands around him
Yeah,
because the temptation is always there, even though it's only temporary. So, we have to, the Bible tells us to crucify our flesh daily. So, and that's the whole meaning of the music video, and we kind of that was what we were going with, and he did his best to make it come to life. But we actually did not see it until like the everything until the final product.
that's so crazy. Cause like seeing the music video, I've watched it non like it's such a good song and like
Mhm,
it like for being like you guys are the first Christian. Well, correct. Well, actually, no. Yeah, you are the
mhm,
first Christian metal band. Like, well, Christian
mhm,
deathcore, I should say, Christian deathcore
mhm,
metal band I've ever interviewed. And what's so cool and special about you guys is that you guys take like scriptures and stuff like that and put
mhm,
it in a way that people like me who are not really per se in that can actually still
mhm.
enjoy it and understand the meaning behind it because after now understanding the meaning behind that music video that is so like that makes a lot more sense now because I was always
Yeah.
kind of wondering why like he was holding the cross and like
Mhm,
with the clothing and stuff like that. I was kind of like wondering what was going on, but
mhm.
now it makes sense that with the temptation, now that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. And
mm,
mhm. Yeah, and like I said, he did his best, and he did a theatrical approach, and we loved it. But we did get some backlash too because we're like, some people did understand the meeting. There was a lot more who didn't, so they're just like, "What are these guys doing? Like, why would they make a video like that?" And we're like, "All right, well, I guess we have to explain this."
yeah, no, that's
you
fair.
know. So, mhm,
Kind of my other question is like my friends, I've showed a lot of my friends your guys' music, and when I tell them that you
mhm,
guys are a Christian deathcore band, um,
mhm.
sorry, excuse me.
Yeah,
Um,
no problem.
a lot of their question is how do you deliver your message about Christianity or like what you're trying to push across with using deathcore as like that leeway, if that makes sense.
Um, to be honest, at least in my opinion, it's not very difficult. Um, I think for the most part, our music is fairly good.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's quite easy. A lot of people don't even know that we are a Christian deathcore band. you know,
I caught
um,
on it pretty quick.
yeah, there's been a lot of shows we've played where they're just like, wow, they'll catch on to certain lyrics and they're like, are you guys a Christian band? And we're just like, yeah. And it was like, guys, you were awesome, even though, I may not believe or things of that nature. So we just, I think we just, since we write decent sounding music, And I think because most of us are just chill guys,
Yeah.
we're not trying to like obviously we're out there to spread the gospel. We want people to come to Christ, but at the same time we're not, you know, tackling people down, trying to beat them with a Bible to saying, hey, you need to believe. It's just like, hey, we want you to believe. If you have questions, come ask us, come talk to us. We don't bite,
Yeah.
and that's all it is. We're very chill guys.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's awesome. I love that.
mm,
I hopefully one of these times, whenever we do another interview, hopefully that can happen.
mhm.
We can do it with
Yeah.
Christian because I would love to meet Christian as well. Um,
Oh, definitely.
like oh wow. Um, what can I say about his vocals? Man, holy, like holy, like
And
I
that's what he practices a lot.
so when I first heard you guys, because I was just looking through YouTube's recommendation and I seen Diamonds to Dust, and I was like, okay, all right,
Mhm.
sounds like a pretty cool band. And it was with Bobby. It was the song with Bobby,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, okay, let's check this out. And then just the breakdown with him doing that pig squeal, I was like, I'm sold. I was sold. like
Yeah.
I so are you a guitarist too in the band, or no? Are you just a vocalist?
Uh, I was a guitarist. Then I switched to bass because we needed a bass player, and it was incredibly difficult to find a bass player. And the only reason I do vocals is because at one point in our career, we couldn't find one. So we were just like, I was just like, I guess I'll do it.
Yeah.
And my brother was just like, yeah, you do it. You don't sound bad. I'm just like, all right, cool, done. Because we needed the clean vocals, and I could also scream at the time, and we were just like, all right, done, cool. That's one less member we have to find.
Okay, I got you.
So yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of in your earlier stuff, like I'd say like
Mhm.
4 years ago,
Yeah.
like one of the music videos I seen, you were a guitarist, and I seen that,
Yeah.
and that's why I was like, that's why I wanted to ask you if you were the guitarist in that music video
Mm.
as well. But
Mm.
now that makes
Basis.
okay, yeah, okay. I seen you playing the
Mhm.
bass, bro.
Yeah.
Whew, whew. Man, you make me just put the one thing I can give credit to you guys, and I wanted to make this clear, is you guys are so technically advanced with like how you guys play. It's insane. Like the lead guitarist and the rhythmist, I as a lead guitarist myself, I
Mhm.
listen to what they play and just
Yeah.
oh like I can't even like. There's so many songs I can give them credit for, just how insanely talented they are, and just like
Mhm.
technical it is. And
Oh yeah. Both of them are classically trained. I know one of them, Ryan, he went to school for it, and then Brandon, he trained himself. Both of them are like pretty much classically trained.
dude,
And
they are so crazy. Like they inspire, like they keep on inspiring me to keep on playing guitar and get better. like they
yeah,
are
nah, they made
so
me give
good.
up. I will not lie. They made me give up. I'm like, I'm good on bass. They're like, no, just keep practicing. I'm like, listen, man, I don't got time to practice like y'all do. Y'all play all the crazy stuff. I will sit here and I will play bass. I'm good with that.
I mean, to be fair, you add a lot into the music from what I've noticed, at least in my opinion.
Oh
There
yeah.
I've kind of did a comparison of like before you guys had a bassist and then after you had a bassist, like when you were doing the bass. I
Hmm.
I personally think with you being the bassist and like those two and like you being the back vocals and Chris being the lead vocalist, like that's a that's a killer set for you guys. Like that's perfect. Like it's I love how technical you are with your bass. You're like I definitely love the before the main breakdown for the pig squeal when you did like the oh my god, it's just like the chunkiest like I hear your bass. It's just so
Mhm.
disgusting, like in a good way,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you said that it was like a really tough challenge for you to get good playing bass for the band, and that kind of wanted me to ask you was that um when you became the bassist, what was like the most challenging part for you when you were trying to take that part?
Um, I would say I would say it'd be more in the writing aspect. It'd be more as writing as a bassist than writing as the guitarist, because a lot of guitar parts. So when we write music, it's especially now, um, I used to write majority of the music, and then now it's more like, you know, 35, 35, 35. We each write a certain amount of songs.
Yeah.
And what you call it? Now I have to write like, okay, I used to, because our old bassist, we would just write it as simple as possible because he wasn't really a bass player. We were teaching him to play bass so we could have a bass player. And when that didn't work out, we were just like, all right, I gotta stop playing bass like guitar and I gotta play bass like bass.
Ah,
You know,
yeah, I
because I
see.
can yeah, because I can play bass all day long like a guitar player and you know, cool. And in metal, you can get away with that, but sometimes, you want it to have more groove in certain parts, like especially a lot of the chorus section. But in a lot of the chorus section, I'm doing the singing.
Yeah.
So now I have to play a groove while singing, while listening to something in my ear, keeping my pitch on time. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of practicing. So I would say that's the most complicated part. Do I write something that's simple for me to play on stage where I can sing properly, or do I put more groove here? Do I play like a guitar player in these sections, but play it like a bass player here? It's more so writing than the actual playing itself. The playing, you know, I can do that,
Yeah.
to a degree. Once they start, they'll ask me, "Hey, why don't we try doing this?" I'm like, "Guys, you know I can't play that. Like, I'm not even gonna try. Let's simplify this a little bit."
Yeah.
Yep.
I definitely noticed that um what do you call it, when I really started like I've been like before you hopped on, I was listening to you guys pretty much yesterday and today and the day
Mhm.
before that, just listening to you guys pretty much nonstop because I wanted to make
Mhm.
sure I get the best of questions because
Mhm.
one thing I always like to do is always make the interviews, especially I'll send you a link later so you can check out the other interviews that I've done.
Awesome.
A lot of them are pretty much just like this, just chill out, we hang out,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
ask you questions, and a lot of them are more personal rather than like bare bones, like if you were a superhero, what would you be and why? Like, yeah, no, I'm not here to ask that.
Mhm.
I'm here to ask like some pretty cool, like my kind of inspiration behind it is
Mhm.
as a heavy metal listener and somebody who always is inspired by music.
Mhm.
I've watched a lot of interviews in my time growing up, and a lot of it is just kind of suit and tie, and
Yeah.
very straight point A, point B kind of questions and answers.
Mhm.
And I don't really like that. So I was like, you know what? I kind of have a bit of a time, like, I'm kind of sort of popping off on Twitch. I got a little bit of a platform. So
Okay.
why not take the platform that I have, right? And
Mhm.
have people like you who run bands and who are upcoming
Mhm.
and interview them and ask them more of like questions that fans would want to actually know rather than something
Mhm.
that they wouldn't really want to know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I
cause
can understand that.
I've seen like when people get the chance to interview like big bands like Metallica, for example, and they like
Yeah.
ask kind of like, "What was your favorite song to do?" Cool question, sure, I guess, but like, bro, they've been asked
Mhm.
that since like the '90s. Like, come up with some,
Yeah.
like you want to make it new, like
Mhm.
if I was
Yeah,
if I was
speak of your interested.
yeah, like if I was interviewing James Hetfield, I'd tell you right now, I would have a lot more different questions than just what was your favorite song.
Hmm.
I'd ask him
Yeah.
about working on Guitar Hero because I played a lot of
Hmm.
Metallica on Guitar Hero.
Hmm.
I want to know what that process was like. Stuff like
Oh
that,
yeah.
I love to
Hmm.
know. It's behind the scenes stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
getting to talk to people like you, who do cool
Hmm.
music videos and also do crazy, chunky music that I like listening to. I like to ask the questions that I feel like sometimes don't really get asked, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Ask the questions that get overlooked from time to time and whatnot.
Yeah,
That
eh,
makes sense to me.
yeah, and it's pretty cool. It's really cool having people like you come on, and it's weird for me because it's kind of
Hmm.
surreal. Because like because every time I interview a band, I'm always thinking in my head, I'm like, man, they could be interviewing somebody else, and it's like,
Hmm.
maybe they chose me for a reason, and it's like, I take that with kind of a way of
Hmm.
like I'm doing something right with my life,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
yeah,
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you for interviewing us. Not gonna lie, we've done a bunch, and we're always appreciative because we're always like, you know, if we could just get to the next step, if we could just get bigger, maybe, and we're like, and then people hit us up to interview us, and you know, it makes it does make us feel better, and like as you said, same thing, like, hey, we're going in the right direction,
yeah, yeah, eh,
so
yeah, and
on our end, it feels the same way.
yeah, that's awesome. It's so cool being a part of that journey too, because it's like, who knows within the next couple of years, where you guys are gonna
Hmm.
be, and like,
Oh yeah.
and one of your songs, yeah, one of your songs, Corpus, um,
Hmm.
almost a million listens on Spotify, almost 800K. Like, that's mind
Yeah.
blowing, my guy.
Yeah, we're trying, man. We're trying. We're trying. Shoot, we're trying to get other songs up to that level. But we just thank God for that, and we appreciate every opportunity we're given, because without those opportunities, without the people listening to us, where would we be? We would just be some band practicing in my brother's garage. you know.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, actually that's actually a good question that I wanted to ask, which was
mhm.
what brought the band together? Like, how did you guys get all together to make Diamonds to Dust?
Well, the short, unconvoluted answer is so me and my brother, Melvin, he does the drums.
Hmm.
We were in two other bands before Diamonds to Dust. So we started a band called It's Never Tomorrow,
Okay.
and then that was dying out because all the members were quitting and whatever. So then we started another band called What's Left of Nowhere, which literally just picked up where It's Never Tomorrow left off. And then I had wrote a song called Ashes to Ashes off of our first album.
Mm.
And the members, the original, like the very original members of Diamonds to Dust, we did not see eye to eye. We, because I was just like, oh, I wrote this song. My brother just wants to do heavy stuff. I'll look for other members. I went to a group of my friends. They were like, cool song, but I wanted to go more like Kill Switch. Somebody else, the female singer at the time, she wanted to do more like Paramore. Our
Wow.
bass player, he was very like technical and classical, so he wanted to go down the jazz route, and we were just like, and then the other guitarist, he was strictly like Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, like that was his style, thrash and nothing else. So I was just like, we were just like, yeah, I'm like, I'm taking the song that I wrote and deuces. And so then I had asked my brother, I'm like, would you want to do the drums on it? And he was like, no problem. He wasn't even supposed to join. And I put the song out and it got massive. like reviews and everything like that.
Hmm.
So we were just like, I think this is a calling to put everything else down and focus on Diamonds to Dust. And after that, like the rest is kind of history. We went through tons of members, but Brandon, our lead guitarist, he was our, the next guitar player to come in. He ended up leaving but coming back. And then Ryan and Christian we found in 2019 or end of 2018, something like that. And then Ryan, who joined officially earlier this year, you know, because he was asked to fill in on tour, and then, we were just like, yeah, I think it's time. So that's pretty much how we did it. Each album, you notice there's like a different vocalist on there and stuff like that. That was because we were trying to keep members, but they just kept coming and going. So 2019 is when I say when Christian joined, that's when Diamonds to Dust started to solidify because he stayed. Then Brandon came back, and now he's been there, and then Ryan's here for the long haul. So we're just like this is the core group of Diamonds to Dust, where we're at now. So yeah, and that's the unconvoluted version.
Gosh, can't wait for us to be enough good enough friends to where I get the like the full convoluted story.
Yeah. No, that'll take me like an hour to go through. And it's like, or like I tell people sometimes, I'm like, just read the bio. You'll see the names and the dates of each person that was in there. I'm just like, whew, it's very long.
That's fair. No, I understand. Um, so my kind of next question would be is
Mhm,
you've talked about performing live, and I kind of wanted to
mhm.
touch bases on that, which is since you have performed live, what is the like type of energy that you like to bring for your fans or the newcomers that are seeing you guys perform for the first time?
Well, we try to do a lot of movement as humanly possible. Sometimes because I'm getting old. It doesn't always happen. I'll be 37 in September. So, um, we try to do a lot of movement as possible. I come from the crabcore era of metalcore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, I come from the whole synchronized headbanging, the running in place, and all of that. So, yeah.
Okay. That's so funny.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I grew up asking Alexandra, The Devil's Wears Prada, all of that. I grew up on that, along with Kill Switch Engage and all that. So we try, we try to keep that same energy from when we were performing in like 2010. We've been around for a very long time.
Wow. I didn't
Yeah,
really.
we've been.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
yeah. It's just like nobody just knew of us. We've been along since 20. I think 2009 is when like we
Wow.
started performing. Like me and my brother, at least, can't say for everybody else, but me and him, we've been performing since 2009, 2010.
That's crazy. Cuz
Hmm.
like that's so wild because that was like when metal was really metal. Like, we had Suicide Silence, Mitch.
Yeah.
We had,
Mm.
Slipknot. Slipknot was still popping off because Corey Taylor was still able to do vocals. God rest his vocals. He can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it was shoot, man.
That was the year
Mm.
of metal, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong.
Mhm,
Like, don't get me wrong. Okay.
mhm.
Um, don't get me wrong. Um, what
No, I.
what do you call it? The because for me, when
Mhm,
I was like growing up, I
mhm.
so it's super funny. I grew up listening to like Michael Jackson, pop music.
Okay.
Like
Mhm,
um when you did the Kill. That's
mhm.
when I was growing.
Oh yeah.
I grew up
Mhm.
on them. Um,
Yeah.
5 Seconds of Summer, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it's so funny to see where I've kind of musically have gotten to, because like
Hmm.
now here I am, interviewing you guys, and it's like,
Hmm.
so I kind of want to ask you, like, when you meet someone like me, kind of, for example, who
Hmm.
grew up not really into metal but got into metal, how do you like kind of interact with people that are not really known of metal, if that makes sense?
Um, for me and the rest of us, it's quite easy to be honest with you because if you were to see our playlist, we it's I would have to say not right now, but I would have to say like last year, metal was my least listened to genre. You know,
Really?
like
Whoa.
yeah,
Okay.
because I grew up on initially, like especially when I was younger, I grew up on gospel music and hip hop,
Ah,
and
okay, that's fair.
yeah, and then I transitioned into metal through Linkin Park because Linkin Park kind of bridged
Okay.
that gap,
Okay.
and then it went to Slipknot, Kill Switch, As I Lay Dying, and then Asking Alexandria, and so on and so forth. But for me, and I kind of only listen to Christian music now for the most part, but you know, in my playlist, it'll go from like I said, it'll go from Impending Doom to Jared Sanders, who's the Christian rapper, to
Oh.
you know,
Hmm.
I can't remember her name at the moment, but she sings "Thy Will Be Done," which is you know, a pop country artist. Because my wife got me into pop country.
Oh, okay.
So my playlist is all
Over the
over the place.
place.
Yeah, I listen to a ton. Last year, my most played music was lo-fi. I
Oh,
listened to a lot of lo-fi.
okay. Okay.
You
That's
know,
funny.
so
You brought up. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. You brought up impending doom, and
mhm,
I reached out to them. Well, I tried to through email because I couldn't reach
mhm,
out to them through DMs, but I
mhm,
think they're just too big of a band for like an interview, sadly. But like
mhm,
I started listening to them like very recent.
mhm.
Like this is like when I found you guys. It's so funny.
Okay.
I found you guys, and then I found Impending Doom, and I was like, Impending Doom, like that sounds crazy. And then I
Yeah.
found out that they were a Christian deathcore band too, and I was like,
Yeah.
what? And then I started listening to them, and I was like, whoa, this is
Yeah.
like this is real deathcore. Like,
Oh
even
yeah, they're like the Christian deathcore band. Yeah, I know there were others before them, but I think everybody considers them like
I
number one, like
I
the deathcore band for Christians.
yeah, I can. It, whoa,
Mhm.
like it'd be super cool to see you guys do a collaboration.
Like we would love to,
You and
what you
them.
got. I did try to get in contact with them before. And like you said, they are busy guys, especially the vocalist. He has a lot of projects and stuff like that. And I know there's so many people trying to get him on a record. So I'm just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, not don't like it, but if they're like too busy, I'm like, I completely understand. We all have our lives, and we
Of
got we
course.
got things we gotta do.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And honestly, the way I looked at it was I reached out to them. It was, hey, the worst thing that they did was just not respond, and that's what they did. And
Yeah.
it's like I it sucked, sure, it's whatever. But
Hmm.
having like you guys, it's an honor. I'm gonna be honest. It's an honor having you guys on, and I generally mean that. It's
I appreciate that, man.
yeah, cause like I am so inspired by deathcore. Okay, like you don't even
Hmm.
understand anything deathcore related. I'm so into, and then
Hmm.
coming to find out that Christianity's involved. Whoa! Like,
Hmm.
I just I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, throughout my
Hmm.
life growing up, I've always thought that Christianity, at least the religion, would always be
Hmm.
looked at as like gospel music, like what you grew up on.
Yeah.
So, my kind of question is to you is when you meet very, I guess you would say, heavily mind like no that's the wrong way of putting it. Um, how can I put this? When you
Mm.
meet somebody that's like very religious on Christianity, and then
Mhm.
they listen to your music because they're interested in
Mhm.
Christian music. How do you kind of take that criticism, whether it's good or bad, if it's from somebody that's in that same faith as you?
Um, well, me personally, I try to be as open as possible to what they're saying because I can understand where they are coming from. Also, I do, try to if it's someone who's like has heavily negative criticism, which we've had before, they'll just be like, I don't, and there's a lot of older people as well. It's people normally that's in their like 50s or 60s. I'll say, well, show me where in the Bible that they said that they can tell you what a demon sounds like. Tell me what a demon sounds like
That's
biblically.
that. Okay, yeah, that's
Mhm.
a fair point. That's a very
Yeah.
good point.
Yes, tell me, show me in the Bible where it says where, which they can't because it doesn't say, and I've checked. It does not say. It's like, but what it does say is use all means to praise the Lord, shout, clash cymbals, and things of that nature. It does,
Technically, you are
so
shouting.
yes. So, and I try to put it that way, and a lot of media
Mm,
has I believe anyway has played a lot into that negative stereotype because you watch a horror movie and what do you hear the screams and the growls and stuff like that, so people immediately associate it with, oh, that is a demon,
yeah,
because you've seen it in a horror movie or a movie about demons. I'm like, but or I can't understand the words. I'm like, listen, I've listened to rappers where I can't understand the words. So, you know, um, but normally, and then I'd have to say overwhelmingly negative or positive though. Once we get to talking about it, the response is normally positive. There's only been like a few times where it's been like, well, no matter what you say, you'll never change my mind and blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, cool, dude, cool. That's fine. We don't have to sit here and argue. God bless, and I'll wipe the dust from my feet and and I'll be gone. He's
yeah,
like, I'm not gonna sit here. I was like, I'm not trying to change your mind, but you asked me this. You came up to me.
yeah. You
So
engaged in the conversation gets there.
yeah. So I'm only, engaging because you asked. So, and that's normally what happens. Or if it's getting weird. We've had some weird interactions. I'll just say, "Hey, all right, guys, I'm gonna have to just end this conversation. It's getting a little out there for my liking, so it might make them upset." But I'm like, "Yeah, no, you can't be in this conversation."
out of out of curiosity, like what do you mean, if you don't mind?
um, Normally it'll go from, we'll say, starting off with the music, right? We'll say, the person will just be like, "Oh, is it biblical?" And then we'll start talking biblically, and it's like, "That's cool." And what scripture? What's your favorite scripture? And then it'll start getting into, "Oh, your guys is has always been my favorite band." Cool. Now here's the weird part. It's like, "Oh, I had one person where they were just like, is X, Y, and Z your favorite song?" I'm just like, listen, man, I'm not quite sure what that song is. We've had what, 6 albums in the EP? I'm like, that's a lot of music. I'm not sure which song you are talking about, especially since I just got off stage and my mind is a little rattled from headbanging. You
Yeah.
know, the person literally got mad at me. how could you not know this song? This song means so much to me. And I'm just like, all right, dude,
Oh,
well,
okay.
yeah, it was like, what are the words to the song? Da da da. I'm like, all right, it's still not ringing a bell at the moment, but I had to literally go into my Spotify playlist, look it up here. Oh, this song, I think it was at the time, it was one of the obscure songs from like our third album, like somewhere in the middle. And I'm like, dude, there was no way I was going to remember that. He's like, oh, how could you not remember? This song just spoke to me. I'm like, all right, man, listen, I'm glad to have you as a fan. I appreciate talking to you, but my wife's over there. I gotta get going. God bless, man. And I had to exit the conversation because it was bordering on weird and harassing.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Cause like that, yeah, no, that's definitely weird. Even from an outsider perspective, like it'd be different if it was like if he was more chill, like oh, you don't recognize the song, kind of more like kind of shocked that you didn't remember the
Yeah.
song. That'd be different. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's so weird that he was actually upset. that that'd be like the same thing as like them coming to see you live and being like, man, I love you guys, but like that was just really disappointing. So why come and what?
Yeah.
Like that just makes
Yeah,
no
I'm like,
sense.
Sorry that, I don't know, man. But yeah, like we've had interactions like that where not just me, multiple members have had to be like, all right, I think it's time to go. This is borderline, this is getting weird.
Yeah.
So we have to go. Yeah, so that just situations like that. And I try my best to stick it out, but once it gets weird, I'm just like, all right, man. I don't need you, trying to hurt me in the alley while I'm trying to pack up our gear and something like that. So we're gonna leave.
just because I don't remember your song, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, it was like again, and it's not like I didn't apologize. I don't think it was a need for me to apologize, but I said, dude, sorry, man. I've written a lot of music, throughout the years. My guitar player, he's written a lot of music. I'm like, if it's not in our set list right then, I try to get people to try to remember. I was like, we're practicing our set list over and over again. So a lot of songs that we've written, unless we're like listening to our music religiously, we don't really remember every single song. There's some songs that literally just get written to put on the album,
Yeah, yeah,
and that we're never gonna play it.
yeah,
It's just to be on the album.
yeah.
You know,
That's like kind of having the like honestly that's like kind of having like the same expectation of like if you met like Eminem and you're like, dude, I really dig this song, and it's like off of his first EP, and like bro's not gonna remember that, my guy. That's like from like early 80s, like
yeah.
bro's like and then like giving out the same reaction like, bro, like what are you going on about, like
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know why you thought that, you know, it's just and maybe he thought he's like, oh, these guys will, remember and tell me the thought process and the writing process. I'm just like, listen, I entertained it longer than I should have. I even went into my Spotify and looked it up and stuff like that. I'm just like, what is the song I played? Oh yeah, this song. Now I remember it. Now that I'm listening to it, but you know, so to avoid that conversation, like when we start, because we're on hiatus at the moment. Like when we go to play shows, like I do actually go through the albums now, just to I will go through them to be like, all right, what's the names of these songs and stuff like that, and like make sure I remember why I wrote them and stuff, just to avoid something like that. Some guys have told me it was like you don't have to do that. I'm like, yeah, but I'd rather not put us in a sticky situation. If me doing something that lasts like 15 minutes on the drive up can rectify,
Yeah,
why not?
and then I think also like I think it's probably like memory's sake too. Like it's
Yeah,
it's your possession. It's like it's stuff that you put your soul into, literally. And it's
yeah,
like um one my kind of other question would be to kind of because it it seems like religion kind of has a heavy part into your band,
Hmm.
and I kind of want to ask was that um, a lot of your songs do have like biblical scriptures. Excuse me, I almost said scriptures.
Hmm.
I don't know why I almost said that. Biblical scriptures. Um, are those scriptures based off of like what you personally believe in, or is that something that inspired you to create those music? If that's like a makes sense.
So, how I rate, because I do rate, I write a lot of the lyrics. So a lot of the lyrics will, there's certain songs like I like I'll will write a song, and in my head it'll hit me. I'm like, this song I'm basing 100% on scripture. And
Okay.
and then there's certain songs where I'm like, I may not know the scripture too well, but I'm like, it's just, your general worship song, or sometimes Christian will say, Barry, I don't feel like writing the lyrics to this specific song, but if you write this one, can you make this song a worship song? It doesn't, so it's not necessarily biblical, but it's just us giving praise to, Christ and everything. And then there's, we have songs where it's just about our past experiences, and those songs sometimes get heavily critiqued, but and I understand why it is what it is. But yeah, anything that we um based on scripture, like I go through the Bible and I'm actually putting the scripture verbatim in there. I might shorten it a little bit because I need it for a particular line or something like that. Um, but I try not to take away from the scripture at all. I also try to get the meaning of that scripture. That way, when it's used, it's not out of context.
Mm,
Because there's a lot of people that like to use scripture out of context. I try not to do that at all.
mm,
But yeah, that's how we view it when it comes to, or at least how I view it when it comes down to using scripture. And then, because we'll have like scripture based song and then we'll have a worship song. To me, that's two different things. Some
yeah.
people just say, "Oh, it's all worship music." I'm like, no, no, no. Scripture, you can't mess up scripture. That's what it is. You got to try to put it in context as best to your ability. And then worship songs, and then we also have a lot of songs where we're killing demons and things like that. Just like your everyday Christian band song, the biblical, Satan, fear me and stuff like that from For Today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, so that's pretty much how that goes. Me, Brandon, and Christian will usually write the lyrics, and we'll see, where we are for one song, or for like the albums and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of, is there anything that you wanted to promote that is maybe possibly coming up in the future or anything like that?
Um, I can't make any bold claims, but I will say we have 3 songs left.
Ooh, okay, got me excited.
That that's it. I can't say anything else because people will, people will run with anything.
Yeah, no, no, no. I'm
So,
not gonna.
you know,
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna poke at the bear. I just thought that I'd give you a little bit of the floor of like if there's anything
yeah,
that you want to promote.
yeah.
When I,
That
sorry, go on.
Yeah, that no, 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 no problem. I was just like, yeah, we have 3 songs left. People can do what they will with that information. I'm not giving any dates, no timelines. I'm not confirming or denying anything. We have 3 songs left.
Okay, okay, okay. That's that's got me excited. Because I just listening to all your guys' stuff, it's really just super good. So knowing that you guys got 3 more songs got me hyped up. Um, sorry, excuse me.
No, that's all good, man.
Yeah, sorry, I was playing a little bit of guitar before I got into the interview. Yeah, I like to play guitar to kind of like
Hmm.
make the interview make sense, if that makes sense. For
Yeah, I
like,
get what you're saying.
because I'm streaming on Twitch, right? And then I take
Yeah.
the VOD, edit it, and then I make it.
Hmm.
Here's the interview. It's all on YouTube. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about the guitar stuff. It's all edited out.
Hmm.
And
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
yeah. So basically, what I'm gonna be doing after this is I'm gonna
Hmm.
download the VOD and I'll send it to you later when I upload it to YouTube. But
Hmm.
I'll put in your guys' YouTube channel, so then people can see your
Hmm.
channel. I'll put a link to your guys' song, like one of your songs, a YouTube video
Hmm.
song, and a Spotify link. That's what
Okay.
I do that for all the people that I interview as well. That's also the reason why I brought up if you want to promote anything, if there's like any solo projects or anything like that that you are possibly working on or anything like that.
Um, I do have a rap album coming out some point in the future. It's um I'd say halfway done.
Okay.
I've already released a few singles. Yeah, I think I've released 5 singles already. But it's probably going to be 15, 16 tracks. Depending. Right now, I'm just kind of vibing with it. Whenever I feel like it's done, I'm like, all right, this is done. But not going to really release it until or I might just change my mind and be like, I'm just going to release it all singles. But for the most part, that's something that's definitive. Like that's some a project that's definitely coming out. And we'll possibly get back into shows. Probably end of the year, maybe coming New Year, something like that. So anybody who wants to see us, just let us know where we should come. That way we can put our tour route together. We always try to see where we get the best responses, so we know. I know Texas has always been a big route. That's just a lot of money.
Yeah. How do you feel about Michigan?
We actually played there last year.
Man, I missed you guys last. Oh, bro, that you guys were
Yeah.
did you guys played in Detroit, didn't you?
I think it was close to Detroit. It was the festival that Cultus was supposed to headline, and they
Yeah,
couldn't make it, and
I
then we
was
ended up
gonna
headlining.
I was gonna go there, and I just didn't go because it sold out so fast, and like there was some like I just nah. I'm glad I didn't go anyways. I went to my first concert though pretty recent, like 4 weeks ago now, almost five,
Okay.
almost 5 weeks ago. It was a band. It was a band that I interviewed, and that's why I said, "Were you in Detroit?" Because I'm local to
Hmm.
Detroit, and
Okay.
yeah, when I went
Well,
to, huh? Sorry.
no, no, go ahead, continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say was is that when I went there for my first time being there, it was an amazing experience for sure.
Awesome.
Being able to see the band that you interviewed the live was so surreal. Like
Hmm.
I was so giddy about it because like the best way I can explain it was like I felt like I was like in the behind the scenes of like Guitar Hero type ordeal. Like they were
Hmm.
setting up like for the motion capture, they were getting all ready for like to do the
Hmm.
music video and stuff like that. Like it was everything that it was everything that I literally dreamt of as a kid, seeing what a
Hmm.
concert could be like, right?
Nice.
And they killed it. They were really good.
Hmm.
And then I seen this other band, Enox. It was
Oh,
walk.
Enoch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been talking to them. I'm gonna be interviewing them too. I've
Yeah.
actually met I met the whole band basically when they
Hmm.
performed in Detroit. Like what can I say about them? They're such amazing, lovely, humble people. Like
Yeah. We played with them a few times.
yeah, they're so down to earth and like
Hmm.
I love the main vocalist's vibe. Like he was just so cool and just when he was on stage, he was just killing it, man.
Hmm.
I was that was the most fun I had in a very long time.
Well, that's good to hear. Those guys are real chill. Hmm.
Yeah. And Walking Down Main was the other one. They're very
Hmm.
underground, but they
Okay.
definitely they deserve the recognition for the music that they make because like
Mhm.
how would you put it? It's like a mix of like metal. Well, no, it's more like it's like deathcore mixed with postcore. It's like postcore
Okay.
death metal. That's the best way I could.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what like because it's like he has like really good. He has like kind of like vocals like you. He reminds me of like your
Okay.
vocals, but like the clears
Hmm.
is a lot like that's where I'm like kind of like saying that kind of other genre because it's like a lot
Yeah.
about like breaking up, getting over
Hmm.
feelings and stuff like that, your emotions and stuff
Gotcha.
like that. And
Hmm.
don't get me wrong, it's good stuff. It's really really good
Hmm.
stuff. But there yeah, uh
I
I
got you.
there was just I see both of you guys vocally in a way where it's
Hmm.
you know, in a positive way, by the way, in a
Yeah.
complimentary way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I just want to make that clear that I was complimenting you. Yeah, that's worst thing that I want to happen is when I'm telling a person that I'm interviewing that like, hey, you
Hmm.
sound a lot like this person. I don't want them to
Hmm.
take that as offense.
Oh no, not at all, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, one thing I actually kind of want to ask is
Hmm.
I've always kind of had this like I guess idea or rumor, I guess.
Hmm.
Is it really true that like other metal bands don't like working with each other and like if I bring up a band that you guys don't like, you don't like talking about it? Is that like kind of true or is that not like is that all metal
Um,
bands or no?
no, I think that's I think that might be towards specific bands. Like, to be honest with you, I don't know
Okay.
because if there's a band that we personally had problems with or we don't really like, which I don't think there's any
Yeah.
that we have problems with, but even if we did, we would just we'd keep it cordial. We'd probably be like, oh yeah, we've played with them a few times, we probably just wouldn't go into detail,
That's
because
fair.
yeah, one thing we'd like to do is not bash any of the other bands. So,
That's cool. Yeah.
unless yeah, it would have to be like, oh, nah, these guys do some really shady things, stay away from them
Yeah.
for us to like really say something negative. But for the most part, especially if their music is good, we're just like, hey, I think their music is good. Like we'll say anything positive we can say about them, we will.
Yeah.
you
Um
know but yeah, but if we don't like them, we'll just be like, oh yeah, their music is good. If you want to go see them, go see them.
yeah.
But we're not going to say anything negative about them.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I kind of
Mhm.
just I've always heard like other people like say like oh don't really ask other bands about these certain bands because they might get upset and it's like I've always wondered kind of like why you know
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's something that maybe that's like a music industry
type of thing.
unwritten rule. Yeah, that I don't know. I've never really heard of it. I don't see why they would be upset. Like if you asked us about, who had the like if you asked us about Tim Lambesis, I'd be like, oh, I'm like, I don't. The guy does what he does.
I don't even
I
know
don't
who
think
that is
he's.
if I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm. He's the lead vocalist of As I Lay Dying. He tried to
Oh,
murder his wife years
oh
ago.
yeah
Yeah, you
yeah.
know. I can understand why some people would be like, we don't really want to talk about him, just so their words won't get misconstrued by the public.
That's
I can
fair.
understand that,
Mm.
but overall, we try not to say that. Or me, I'd be like, yeah, I grew up on the guys, but don't condone his actions and stuff like that.
That's how I feel. Like I play their music on guitar. Don't get me wrong. Like their
Hmm.
music is fun to play. Like
Yeah.
super fun to play. And I don't. It's whatever. In my opinion,
Hmm.
like I don't. how do I put it? I don't look at somebody's actions as a way of what their music is like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a separation of the art and the music.
Yeah, exactly.
The art and the person, the art and the person.
Yeah.
Me, it depends on what was done. Like, I don't listen to As I Lay Dying anymore because the guy was given chance after chance that he was forgiven. And I'm not saying he can't be forgiven spiritually, but I'm like, dude, at this point in time, you're showing that you're unrepentant. So, you know, kind of have to, you know,
Yeah.
move away from that, so
I
it is what it is.
yeah, I listened to their older stuff before the drama happened. So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
like their 2018 stuff, 17, uh even their earlier stuff, 2014, 2013, you know, the
Hmm.
really old stuff because it's like that's before everything happened. And
Yeah, and
yeah,
some people will do that too. They'll listen to like,
the older stuff.
um, yeah. So shoot, as much as I was a diehard as LA Dive fan back in the day,
Yeah.
I can't tell. The only album I could tell you is A Shadow and Security, or
That's my
whatever the name
favorite.
of the title.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's my favorite album.
yeah, Shadow and Security,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah. You're
Mhm.
correct. The first one, the first way you said it was correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I don't really know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I understand that.
Mhm.
There's one person I actually because being getting to meet you and all that. There's one person I kind of want to meet. I kind of want to bring up, and I kind of want to see if you know who they are. Trevor.
Mhm.
Do you know that name?
Is there a last name?
He's the lead vocalist from Heal the Hurt.
No.
No, you should
Mm.
check them out. I interviewed them a long time ago. Like they were my
Mhm.
first interview,
Okay.
and they recently got into a collaboration with Confessions of a Traitor. And
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Dope.
you know them based off of your
Yeah.
reaction. I've
Yeah.
been I've been in the loops with them too, trying to interview them as well. They're so
Mhm.
busy, and that I
Yeah, they
hope it
tour a
happens.
lot.
I'm hoping it happens. They're
Mhm.
like they're set. They want to do it. They're so interested, and I have so many questions for them because it's like I love Confessions of a Traitor too. Like
Mhm.
banger band. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
um haunted, like Still Haunted, one of my favorite
Mhm.
songs, always on
That
repeat.
is a great song.
um but Trevor, who is the lead
Mhm.
vocalist of Heal the Hurt, he he does more like not really worship. It's sort of
Mhm.
worships. So I how do I explain it? His music is about getting over certain things with the use of God and like the
Okay.
prayers of God, if that makes sense.
Okay. Mhm.
And I was kind of thinking his vocals are pretty good, and like I think
Mhm.
if you guys get connected with him, it'd be a pretty cool little collaboration between you three to do a little cool little collaboration on a song, cuz
Mhm.
he has the fun. I think at least in my opinion,
Mhm.
it's up. Obviously, it's your call, but I
Mhm.
I think his vocals are vocally there for you guys because it's like
Mhm.
it's that grunge. It's so good, and like the way that their
Mhm.
band plays too, it's so good too. Um,
Okay. I'll definitely check them out.
yeah, Heal the Hurt.
Feel the hurt.
Yeah, they haven't.
I'll check them out right after.
Yeah, they haven't dropped anything too recent from what I've seen, but
Mhm.
they did the song with Confessions, and then
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything from them about future songs or whatever.
Mhm.
But I when I interviewed them, Trevor, the lead vocalist,
Mhm.
I asked him like if he was given the opportunity to collaborate with anybody, who would it be? And he would just be like, obviously he said a lot of the people that most people would say that they would tour with.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes
Hmm.
sense. But he would be, he was happy with anybody. He'd be happy with anybody.
Yeah.
And I think I think you guys would get along really well with like the vibe that he's super cool, down to earth.
Hmm.
Uh
Okay.
yeah, he talks about Christ a lot, and
Okay.
I think that's where you guys would get along with the ideology of
Hmm.
like a song or something that you guys
Yeah.
could work on a project. That was kind of
Hmm.
one thing I was thinking of bringing up to you during this interview, was bringing him up because
Hmm.
um, he definitely deserves more recognition for being a really good vocalist, because he's
Hmm.
he's pretty there, man. Like, mm,
Okay.
I give a
Nice.
I give a little
Hmm.
chef's kiss.
Justin.
Yeah. Well, wait, do you know the song "Still Haunted" by Confessions?
Yeah, about confession of trade. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in that song. That's Trevor.
Oh, okay.
That's Heal the Hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna have to listen. I'm gonna have to listen to what you call it. I'll look him up as soon as we're done, because I'm always looking for more like Christ centered music to listen to. So that way I can like swap out older, more secular music. So I'm gonna definitely give it a shot as soon as we're done.
yeah,
I'll
we're
probably give it full discography a listen.
yeah, we're almost done here. Sorry, we're
Oh no
almost
no
done here.
no, you're good. You're good, man.
Okay. Yeah, that was one thing I really wanted to touch bases with you on, was
Hmm.
him, because when I first got to interview him, he was such a cool, humble dude. Like,
Hmm.
his energy was there, like yours. Your energy is here.
Yeah.
I really like it. I I like what you're presenting yourself as. Like with him,
Hmm.
I liked how he presented himself. I liked how he answered his questions, and with my
Nice.
not gonna lie, my first interview was kind of cringe because it was my first interview, and I was kind of
Oh, well, good.
like fanboying ish.
Yeah, getting your bearings, I'll say. Getting your
Yeah,
bearings.
yeah. It took me a while to actually get
Hmm.
down. Like, okay, like these are the questions to focus on, rather than like
Hmm.
rebuttaling and like kind of talking about something else. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I Anytime I interview bands, I always make sure it's about you guys or whoever
Hmm.
I'm interviewing. But sometimes I like kind of like sprinkle in a bit of
Hmm.
different subjects,
Yeah,
because it
which is
makes it
completely
interesting.
good. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So hopefully you don't mind.
No, no, not at all.
Okay, cool. Um,
Oh,
Kind of to my last question here for you. So
okay.
yeah, we'll get to my last question here, because yeah.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, I know. I just
Hmm.
I don't want to keep you any longer. And again, I just want to say
Hmm.
before I ask my last question,
Hmm.
again, I'm very very thankful for your time, and coming on
Hmm.
here, and not only giving me more of an experience becoming a better interviewer, but me being able to get more of an experience of being able to meet such cool people like you, and I'm very thankful. It's a blessing to me. Um, I may not be a full believer in
Hmm.
Christianity or anything like that, but people like you and what the music that you create, you do definitely give me a reason to think differently in some ways. But just know that what you guys have created, and the music that you guys made, has definitely motivated me in ways that I didn't expect. So I just
Well, I
want to
appreciate that.
yeah, I just wanted to give my personal thank you to you, saying that um, you definitely have a good fan now on your side that really loves your guys' music for what it is. And yeah, I'm very appreciative of you coming on and answering my questions.
No problem, man. And listen, I appreciate you, you know, bringing me on, and the other members definitely appreciate it too. They would be here if they could be.
Yeah.
We're all like our schedules are all just so bad.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Well,
No, I understand completely, my man.
mhm.
It's just life.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Life, kids, families. Oh man, I'm go take care of the kid. He's fully awake in a second. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I got you. Well, this is basically my last question, and I like to kind of
All right.
end. I kind of like to end it on
Mhm.
a little bit of a twisteroo, as I like to call
Okay.
it. Do you have any questions for me?
Mm, not that I can think of at the moment.
Okay. I like
Mhm.
to. I kind of like to throw it back at you and be like, "Hey, do you have any questions for me by chance?" You never know.
Mhm.
But
Okay. No, not at the moment.
okay. Well, hey, that's pretty much it, man. Um, that's all I really got questions for. If I had the chance to, trust me, I would ask you about a lot of other songs, but I know that you have things to take care of and a child to look forward to, and
Oh, yeah, I look forward to
congratulations.
it. And I appreciate that, man. And listen, anytime you want to do another interview, um, we will do our best to get our schedules together so that way more of us can be on next time. We're always down to do it. Or if you have any questions you want to just ask us just generally, you can always just message us. Somebody will get back to you.
Okay. Well, just know that I'm very thankful again, and thank you so much for coming on here and giving me your time and being such an amazing, humble dude. And I just keep on being you, man. Like seriously,
Yeah.
just keep on being you, dude.
Listen, man, I appreciate that. And again, we appreciate you. I thank you. And, I'm going to make sure I pray for, your continued success and everything that you do, whether it's life, the interviewing, and just, general, everyday things, because that's what we like to see. We want to see you blossom. So that's going to be, you're going to be definitely in my prayers tonight.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, and that means a lot to me. That I'm I have a somewhat a meaning to be in someone's prayers. But no, um no, generally in all seriousness, no, but that means a lot, and I really hope one day you get to see me interviewing Will Ramos, and I'll bring you up and be like, you know what? This is because of him.
And you're like, listen, man, it's probably closer than you think.
Dude,
That time is closer than you think.
bro, listen. I can't like just to kind of quickly touch on that. Like my
Hmm.
biggest inspiration for doing this is
Hmm.
interview. Like I don't want to interview these big people just because they're big. It's because
Yeah.
they inspired me to become who I am, and
Hmm.
that's why I want to interview them. Like
Okay.
Orbit
Hmm.
Culture, for example. I don't know if you know who Orbit
Hmm.
Culture is.
I've heard of them. I've never listened to them though.
You definitely with what you like, you definitely wouldn't like them. It's more,
Mhm.
it's just heavy metal.
Yeah.
It's like noiric heavy metal, a lot
Oh,
of
okay. Hmm.
crazy drums, like very,
Hmm.
whew, holy, sorry, but whew, excuse me, but damn, like
Hmm.
that drummer in Orbit Culture, you would think that that man he had like three legs for how fast he could just go up and down on that pedal. He's
Hmm.
crazy. But
Okay.
yeah, like yeah, they Orbit Culture was like the huge reason why I got into guitar and even why I got
Hmm.
into where I'm at today. And it's like
Okay.
they're my one of my biggest inspirations for me. And like
Hmm.
they helped me when I was depressed, and like
Hmm.
they helped me through a lot of things that I was struggling with. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of things that I would want to say to the vocalist as a big thank you. And
Hmm.
you know, it'd definitely be a core memory for the rest of my life being able to interview someone like him, you know, because he's such
Hmm.
a impressive vocalist and
Hmm.
you know, obviously not to discredit you guys, but
No, no, not at all.
yeah,
Listen, we don't feel any type of way at all, man.
yeah. Um, I hope like one day that you guys get that same success as them, you know, because like being able to see you guys get so crazy popular. I mean, almost 1 million streams on one song. Who knows what type of collaborations you might get next? Who knows what maybe these next 3 songs will put you guys on the top of the list. You never know. You,
Yeah,
you,
that is very true.
you know what I mean? And it's like I will do
Mhm.
everything in my power to not only promote you guys, but make sure that you guys continue to be successful.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a lot.
Of course.
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna let you go, and
Mhm.
you enjoy the rest of your day. I thank you so much for your time, and hopefully you have
Mhm.
yourself an amazing day.
You as well, man. You stay blessed. And again, like I said, tonight you will definitely be in my prayers.
Thank you, man. God bless you, bro.
Uh, God bless, man. You have a good one.
See you later. Well, that was fun. I am going to end the stream. I will see you guys in the next stream. Farewell.